Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. Today is Thursday. It's the 24th day of March. It is National Chocolate-Covered Raisins Day. I kind of like those.
I'm not a fan.
They're okay. They're pretty good. National Cocktail Day. Heidi's a fan.
I'm a fan.
She actually smiled for that. And National Cheesesteak Day. I'm a fan of that, too. I could just have a cocktail with some cheesesteak and then top it off with chocolate-covered raisins. What a day. And it is a Thursday, so we have a Dear John letter. And Mama Bear sent in this Dear John letter. It's about a sleepover, and she doesn't want her daughter going to a sleepover, but I think for good reason.
Oh.
If you would like to chime in with some advice, you can do so on our Facebook page. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. By the way, that's also where you go if you'd like to submit your own Dear John letter. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Scientists say that being agreeable may be the main key to success in life, Heidi. University of Arkansas researchers carried out a study on how personality affects job performance, focusing especially on agreeableness. They found that agreeableness offers a desired effect on hundreds of physical, psychological, and occupational metrics, impacting both your career and your overall life success. What do you think so far? Do you agree?
Completely disagree.
I knew you were going to say that. Among the important findings of the study was that people who have high levels of agreeableness had a 93% success rate in psychological health, physical health, personal relationships, leadership effectiveness, and performance in both educational and organizational environments.
Disagree. You can't be a leader if you're just agreeing with what everybody else
Heidi
says.
likes
That's
to
not
buck
a
the trend,
leader.
doesn't she?
That is not a
The
leader.
team concluded agreeableness is the personality trait primarily concerned with helping people and building positive relationships, which is not lost on organizational leaders. So here's the thing. You can be agreeable even if you disagree. There's a polite way to do it. I think that's probably what they really mean here. So I have to agree to disagree. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know? Here's something that maybe the world could definitely use right now. A new Dr. Seuss book is coming out. Several of them.
How is that even possible?
Dr. Seuss Enterprises with Random House Children's Books will publish a line of books for readers age 4 to 8 that build upon Dr. Seuss's work but are written by an inclusive community of authors and illustrators.
Okay.
According to Seuss Enterprises, the books are inspired by Seuss. The unpublished illustrations like the big-eared rabbit and a little doodle you may have seen online that's labeled assorted hummingbirds. So these are things that Dr. Seuss had worked on, but they were never published. New publications will be part of the new Seuss Studios, and they're said to reflect Seussian whimsy and the diversity of his readership. I think this is actually kind of cool. I'm a fan of Dr. Seuss. There's some really fun stuff, and I know some of it's a bit odd, but odd in a good way. So I'm excited. We don't know everything, but now we know this. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Bob Odenkirk said that working out for the 2021 film Nobody helped save his life. He had a heart attack on the set of Better Call Saul back in July. And when asked whether the intense training that he was doing might have had something to do with it, he said, "It saved my life." He went on to explain. He says, you kind of enlarge some other veins around your heart if you work out a lot. If I had done that as a result, more blood would have been able to flow. So anyway, he's saying if I hadn't been doing this, it would have probably killed me.
Yep, exactly. He wouldn't have made it.
Friends
That's
is a show most people think of when you bring up the name Courtney Cox, but she recently revealed that her memory of working on it is pretty spotty. She said that she's rewatched the series numerous times, and she's like, oh, I don't even remember that. I don't remember being there for some of these things.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's very weird. And Kenan Thompson is now milestone here, 1,500th skit on SNL. Did you know he holds the title for the longest standing player? He's been a member of the cast since 2003.
I did,
5
because
Emmy
every time
Awards.
I watch the show, I'm like, I can't believe
He's
this
still
guy's
there?
still on
Yeah.
there.
5 Emmy Awards over the years. And then my favorite piece of news here, Johnny Carson biopic series. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to be starring. It looks like it's going to get the green light finally. I'm excited about that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. As if the skyrocketing prices of food and fuel weren't bad enough. Get set for the latest commodity to soar in cost. Perfume. Yep. The pricey premium perfumes recently jumped to levels never seen before. Stats show the average price of fragrances rose by 15% last year, triple the average of 5% that they had the years before that. Don't blame general inflation or the situation overseas. It has a lot more to do with consumer behavior in times of stress and uncertainty. Larissa Jensen, VP of research firm NPD, said the sector started to see a swell of growth during the pandemic. Consumers were willing to trade up to more premium fragrances. Her company's theory is that people were looking to treat themselves with some little luxuries during the difficult times. Then the fancy scents they kind of liked, it allowed us to escape even momentarily their situation. But when things got back to normal, they needed more of it because now you're going out more. So remember during the pandemic, I was like, I don't think I've used cologne for I don't know.
Well, the other day you
9
even
months?
asked me, where is my
I
cologne?
don't know. I lost it. So now when you smell me, it's like, what is that scent? I'm like, it's just me. Take it in. I had bacon this morning. Is that what it is? I don't know. Many players feel that since the New York Times took over Wordle, they bought this back in January, they think that it's gotten too difficult. Word reference games tool Word Finder X did a study of Google Trends, and one of the biggest things on there were people looking for answers for Wordle.
Oh.
196% increase since New York Times took over. So apparently people are cheating on Wordle. If you got to cheat to show how
Not really
smart
a
you
game.
are,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. By the way, most of the people who are cheating between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. So they right away in the morning are like, I'm going to cheat on some Wordle, then I'm going to get on with my day.
Wow.
I still have never played Wordle. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
It's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John.
All right, I got a Dear John letter here from Mama Bear, and I want to make sure I preface the fact that I've referred to Heidi as Mama Bear numerous times.
Anytime.
Because Heidi lives up to that title. And I always come up with a name because when people send these, sometimes they do put a name on there, like a fake name, because it's always anonymous. But a lot of the times they put their real name, and then I make one up. I made up this Mama Bear, but I want to make sure everybody knows it's not Heidi. It's a different Mama Bear. All right, here we go. Just wanted to get the confusion out of the way first. Dear John, my daughter was invited to a sleepover with a friend. I told her no because the girl has an older brother who kind of gives me the creeps. He said some pretty inappropriate things to my niece a few months ago at school. He never got in trouble for it because my niece never did anything about it. I only know about it because my sister and I talked about how bizarre kids are these days. Now, my daughter's upset with me because she can't go to the sleepover with her friends. I told her, you could have the girls sleep here, but I'm not okay with her, and I really don't like the idea of any of them sleeping where this older boy will be. I'm probably making this a much bigger thing than it really is, but I'd rather be cautious than sorry that I didn't do something when I knew there was a potential issue. Am I being ridiculous? Should I be doing more? I'm not sure what I should be doing on this. Signed, Mama Bear. I'm going to let Heidi speak first, and I'll get my bleep button ready just in case it's needed. No, what would you do?
As a mother, always trust your instincts, always.
And I think that I probably would agree with that too. Mm-hmm. And you're right. It could be absolutely nothing.
It could be.
Because she's going to, I don't know, maybe it's nothing at all. And I don't know. It doesn't say, okay, he said some pretty inappropriate things to my niece. The things that I don't know that would probably make it easier for me to answer this, I don't know how old he is. I don't know how old the niece is. I don't know how much older he is than the other kids. I don't know if mom and dad are both going to be there when they're having the sleepover. Hopefully, that'll be a big old yes. But there are a lot of questions in my mind personally that would make it a whole lot easier for me to answer this, but without knowing all the answers to those, I would probably lean towards caution and just say,
trust your instincts.
You know what? Nowadays,
if your gut says there's something wrong, there's probably something wrong.
She can chat with them through social media or whatever, Snapchat or FaceTime
or like you said,
or
move
whatever.
the sleepover to your house.
Well, I don't know that they're going to move. If this is the sleepover that this girl is having and she was invited, I doubt they're going to say, okay, we'll do it at your place instead. But if she wants to have the same experience, she could say, hey, you know what? Let's do a sleepover at my house next weekend.
Yeah.
When our kids were younger, because our kids are both grown and gone now, but when our kids were younger, our daughter would have sleepovers, but I don't really remember her going to many sleepovers. Is it because
I really
of this?
didn't trust other?
So it's because of something just like this. Even if there wasn't an older son involved, it was just I don't want her staying anywhere.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, unless I really knew the people where she was going to go, I preferred that all the kids just come to our place, and I always made it so much fun anyway.
Yeah.
There was no reason not to.
I remember one. Since I have a minute here, I'm going to share this. I remember one sleepover where you set up a tent in our living room.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the night, our smoke alarm went off. And we wake up and we go running out there to figure out what is going on. And we look in the tent and our daughter and her friend are gone. And I'm looking around. Heidi's going, we need to call the police. And I look at the front door, it's locked. The garage door is locked. All the windows are locked. The back, there's no way they left. So we're walking around the house trying to figure out where in the world did they go. And we're shouting their name. And the smoke alarm had been going off. So it's like, how could you sleep through that? Remember this? Mm-hmm. And we're freaking out, looking in the basement, looking in every single room. You know, every other person in the house was awake. We're all kind of walking around like, where did they go? For whatever reason.
Yeah, it was crazy.
They went in our daughter's closet and closed the door, and they were sleeping on the floor of the closet. I have no idea why. But it was one of those things where I think God saw that. He was like, hey, everybody, hey, come over. Watch this. Watch this. This is going to be hilarious. I'm going to make this smoke alarm go off. But no, it freaked me out. It was a big time freak out. But I remember having sleepovers. And again, when I was a kid, I went to sleepovers. Did you go to sleepovers as a kid?
They were usually at my house.
Were they?
Yeah.
See, it's a long line of Mama Bears in your family.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if you'd like to chime in for Mama Bear, you can do that on our Facebook page. You can also submit your own Dear John letter if you'd like to do that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Or if you'd rather not do it through that, you can, or maybe not even on Facebook anymore, you can send your letter to us right at the bottom of our page, johnandheidishow.com.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
More people are allergic to cow's milk than any other food or drink. I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Technically speaking, brides don't walk down the aisle. They walk down the nave Nave. I did not know that either.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There's a little bird in the Twitter logo, and he's got a name. What do you think that little bird's name is?
I have no clue. What is his name?
You're going to go, I remember hearing that. His name is Larry, after Larry Bird, the NBA player.
Oh.
Larry.
I wouldn't have remembered that.
I could have swore I told you that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Laughter synchronizes the brain of both speaker and listener so that they become emotionally attuned. So laughter is amazing. And another fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Eating garlic improves your body odor. Well, if you don't want to spend money on cologne anymore. And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
About 3 pounds of your body weight is bacteria and parasites.
Oh.
Well, that's not a fun fact. That's kind of yuck. Couple of interesting facts today. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Now, the question of the day comes your way courtesy of RadioTravelGroup.com. Here's the question. In a moment, we'll give you the answer. And you, by the way, if you see the question, like on social media, you can answer on there, but you can also share that and see if your friends want to answer. So here's the question of the day. In a survey, 3 out of 4 people admitted to sharing this with their pet. What is it?
Ice cream.
3 out of 4 people admitted to sharing this with their pet. Heidi, have you ever shared an ice cream cone with your pet?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. The answer, by the way, is ice cream cone. Ha! Heidi does that. You know who else does that? Charlie from Tuesdays with Charlie. And then here's the weirdest thing. He used to come over. This is a dog we had a long, long time ago. He would take a lick, and then he'd let our dog lick it for a long time, and then he's talking to him. Then he'd lick it some more. I'm like, what? What are you doing? He's like, oh, nothing wrong with that. Then I find out later he's eating milk bones, too. So I'm like, well, this ain't the weirdest thing. All right, the answer is ice cream cone. That is your question of the day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police were left scratching their heads when a boat was found abandoned in a street, and it was tied to a no parking sign. It was a boat, no trailer, just a boat in the middle of the street. Police tweeted that an officer found a boat parked without a trailer on the side of an L.A. street. Los Angeles is where this happened. As they put in their Twitter post, "Ahoy, you can't park there." At least the captain was kind enough to anchor his boat to the street sign before he abandoned ship, end quote. The boat was removed by city crews and taken to the local tow yard. Sergeant said the boat's registration was out of date and a notice will be sent to the owner. The boat was not apparently stolen. So the guy's, he never reported it stolen anyway. So did he just dump off his boat? I don't quite understand.
I don't know. That's crazy.
The boat was not apparently stolen. That's the craziest part of that story. He's like, no, I put it there. I did that on purpose. That's one of the reasons this is today's Weird News. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A Reddit user posted the question, what scam is so normalized that people don't even notice it anymore? And this quickly went viral. 23,000 comments. I don't have all of them there on this little post, but I've got some. Service fees. Oh, by the way, I just want to say.
Yeah, service fees.
A lot of these are businesses, and if you're a part of one of these businesses, don't be mad at me. I didn't say this. Somebody on Reddit said it. So service fees. They're saying that they believe that's a scam. Another one. The fact that somebody cut a chicken wing in half and managed to convince everybody that it has 2 wings now. It's like, oh, that's the top part of the wing and that's the bottom part of the wing. They're like, no, it's all one wing. What are you talking about? Insurance. They're not a fan of that one. They call that a scam. So many scams in dentistry. Yeah, they don't like that. Cups with so much ice you get 4 ounces of a drink in a 20-ounce cup. That's apparently a scam.
Our son has a problem with that.
Oh, he does. There's more if you want to read the rest of these. Once again, this is from Reddit, and I didn't type the list, but I did share it. Thanks for sending it to me. You can find that list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Another anonymous quote. We've got several of these. Again, I'm baffled by this. Somebody took the time to write down what somebody said, but they didn't write down who said it.
Or they remembered what somebody said and have no clue who that, like they've heard that quote before.
Right. Well, here's the anonymous quote. I prefer not to think before speaking. I like being as surprised as everyone else by what comes out of my mouth.
I have heard that one, and it's one of my favorites as well.
You know, have you ever learned anything while you're talking? You're like, wait a minute. Is that true? I just said that, but now I'm starting to wonder. Maybe I don't know if I read that on. I'll tell you what, that's why I'm not a fan of parody. Like there are websites that are parodies. I'm not a fan of those because I'll read something.
The Babylon Bee and stuff.
Yeah, and then it gets stuck in my brain as fact, and I'm like, wait a minute, I think that was on a parody site. Never mind. I don't think that's accurate. So I kind of steer clear of that. I know it's funny stuff, but I steer clear of it for that reason. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. This was one that was sent. They said you shared some good news about a dog, so how about some good news about cats? I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Hey, you sent it over. I just might read it. I'll tell you how to send it over here in a bit. But here's the headline. 3 strangers help woman evacuate 86 cats from a shelter during a fire.
Okay.
Yeah. Jackie Mahal had to pack her entire life in a matter of seconds while evacuating more than 80 cats. This happened March 4th. A wildfire approached her home in Panama City, where she runs Salty Cats of St. Andrew's Rescue Group. She had 86 cats, a bunny as well, to board up and get out of harm's way. Some of the cats in the group that they care for there are feral cats, and some are sickly. She also faced another challenge, limited cages to contain the animals.
Right.
She said, I honestly don't know how I got them all in the cages, and I don't know where these 3 guys came from, but just out of nowhere, Brian Salmon, Scott Morris, and Scott Turunzo just showed up. 3 strangers. They were in the area. They saw that she was, in need of some help,
right,
and they stopped and helped her. Says they were placed there for a reason, she said. Together, they evacuated successfully all 86 cats and the bunny.
Wow.
She announced on Facebook they finally have returned home. Says, we are home thanks to everyone who helped make this possible. We will be working on getting them their cat towers. I'll be assembling kitty furniture today. So she goes on to explain what all is going on, but it's a miracle that they got all this stuff done. I've got a link to the story if you want to read it, and there's also a video. They had it on the local news in that area as well. So if you'd like to watch the video and all of that, there's a link in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.